Hello and welcome to the folding tutorial for Sniper. This plane is easy to fold, and as you can see, it is an extremely long and narrow dart. It has a good range of over 60 feet and it flies exceptionally accurately. No plane in this book will fly as straight as Sniper. So let's go ahead and show you this plane in flight, and then I'll teach you how to fold it. All you will need in order to fold Sniper is an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper, but if you are using one of my templates, be sure to orient yours as I have mine here with this bright red side up and the text up as well. And we're going to begin by folding this right edge to the left edge. As always, symmetry is very important, so try as hard as you can to get this first fold to be accurate, because we're going to be using it as a reference for future folds, and that's really going to greatly impact the symmetry of your plane. So actually, in this very next step, we're using it as a reference because we are folding this top edge here to this center crease, and we're actually going to do the same thing on the other side as well once we finish this. So you should end up just with like a triangle like this. Try to find the point where that triangle goes right up to that center crease at the top and tack it, and then you can swivel this bottom corner right to the center crease. And it's actually pretty important that you get these creases to be accurate as well, because they're going to be references here in just a moment. So we've done one side, we'll just do the other side to match. And your plane should look like this. Now we'll just open this up on both sides. And what I want to do now is I'm going to fold this top edge so that it lands on this left diagonal crease. And as I do that, you can see I'm going to kind of swivel the whole paper this way. And I want again to kind of pinch that crease right at the top. And you can see this crease, which was the diagonal crease here, is going to land on the center of our plane. So I can kind of follow that right up to where it intersects the top edge and make sure that that is at the center point. And then be sure that the bottom point of this crease is landing on my center crease. And make sure that the left edge of this paper here is landing on the diagonal crease we made in that first step as well. And if all those things line up, you're good to crease it. Just try to get it as close as possible. I recognize that getting all of those to line up perfectly can be difficult, but if you get it close, you're going to be absolutely fine. And you can see now we're just going to reverse this crease reverse this crease here in the center so that this whole tab ends up back on the right side. And now we can use this as our reference as we fold this side over. So I'm folding this edge here to land on this edge here. And again, I want this crease right here to be landing on the center crease of my plane, both at the top and at the bottom of the crease. And if that's happening, I can crease all the way along this edge of the paper. And now I can reverse this center crease and fold this flap to the left. And so your plane should look like this. The next step is just to fold this top point down so that it lands on this point here. And the crease you make should essentially go through these outer corners of this top kind of diamond. And you'll notice that doing that will kind of make these layers bulge slightly. Feel free to brush them out a little bit if you need to. That is totally fine. Okay, your plane should look like this. And the next step is just to fold along this edge here. You can see we're going to fold this layer right along that edge, and it's going to take this edge here to the center crease, or approximately to it. It may not be able to reach it because of the thickness of the layers. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, folding this in as far as it'll go towards the center. And now we're just going to fold this top edge down. And you can see the point that I'm going to choose to crease it is based on this layer here. Basically, I want to fold a top triangle down far enough that this layer behind it is visible. And that's going to allow us in a moment to tuck all of these layers into a pocket. And I'll show you that in just a second. But so fold it so yours looks just like mine here. You can see I've even folded it so that these points here don't quite land on this edge. They are inside of it, and what that means is that this corner here is actually just a little bit farther off the top edge than this corner out here. That's going to help even just a little bit more, but don't fret if yours doesn't quite match in that way. So now I'm going to open this, and you can see that we have a pocket here. Okay? Our plan is to tuck this whole flap into that pocket. So we just swing it kind of in like so, and push until it nicely goes into that pocket. And we'll do the same thing on this side, just kind of bend it. Oh, let me get the pocket open first. Kind of bend it in, get that first corner in, and then you can kind of just swivel the whole rest of it in, and you're just folding on an existing crease. So it shouldn't be too bad once you can get that corner into the pocket. And you can see now our plane is really nice and tidy. Everything's going to be held together by the fact that they're locked in that pocket. And now we can just fold the plane in half on that existing crease and turn it to this orientation, where we're going to now fold this edge here to this edge to create our first wing. Start your fold here at the nose because you've got thick layers there, so kind of use that as your guide, work that into position, and then from there you can kind of try to line up everything else. And we'll flip that over, fold the other side to match. And we'll open up the wings, and you'll see that you have a finished sniper, which really is a brilliant paper airplane. Because it's so long and narrow, this plane is very, very accurate in comparison to most paper airplanes. You'll find that it shouldn't have too much trouble flying straight, and if it isn't flying straight, that you shouldn't have too much trouble adjusting it to fly straight if you follow the instructions within that troubleshooting section. Now you'll see I have it so that these wings angle upward slightly. That's called dihedral angle, and it's going to help that plane fly straight. But also notice that when I throw it and let go of the plane, those wings are going to sag a little. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that the wings angle upward even after I have let go of the plane. So if you, for instance, had it like this, they may not angle upwards anymore. You want to make sure you have your wings angled up enough before you let go of the plane that they still angle just slightly upward even after you let go. So that's your first tip. If you find that the plane is diving, which I don't suspect you will with Sniper, it is pretty well balanced. But if you do find that it's diving slightly, then you can also bend the back edges of your plane up, the plane's wings up just slightly, and that is called giving a plane up elevator. and that's going to help it to glide really nicely after you let go of it. I hope you found this video to be helpful. As always, good luck flying your plane.